Hey everybody, it's Colette Baron-Reid. Welcome to this week's Astro Oracle reading. What a great week. I'm super excited about it. We've opened our doors to the Oracle Circle membership, so if you're interested, it is such a cool bunch of people. We love each other in there. Lots of woo, lots of practical spiritual guidance, astrology, moon cycles, meditations, a mantra, you name it. You just name it and it's in there. So click on the link if you're interested in checking it out. Now, I'm going to do 3 cards per sign. How you're going to work with this content. Make sure you saw the video from yesterday that tells us the general. I did a Celtic cross spread for this week that'll give you an understanding of the storyline that's being reflected for everybody this week. Now, the best way to use the Astro Oracle reading, and the most accurate way, is to take your sun sign, then next read the 3 cards that relate to your rising sign or your ascendant, and then read your moon. So it goes like that. We start with sun, ascendant, then moon. And so you'll end up with 9 cards. So we're going to add, what is it called, Mark? With the list with the
time stamps.
Okay, so Aries, here we go. And this is for Mark. 3 cards for Aries this week. Nice. Okay, so now, loyal heart, blessed, and communities for Aries. And that really means that as long as you are really, really clear about what you stand for and what you believe in, and that then you gather your loyal friends and family and people that you love, and remember that we are blessed to be here. This is a graceful reading this week for Aries. It's a beautiful week, and it does say to remind you to be in community of like-hearted individuals. That's really good. And by the way, too, I just watched this great video from Pam Gregory and she's this beautiful British woman. It's like you're getting a hug from England when you watch her video. She's a phenomenal astrologer. She's one of my favorites. And she has a lot to say about this week's full moon in Leo. So please, if you have some time, check that out. It's a really beautiful video that reminds us of the main theme of this week, which is also about remembering to go into our heart. And to focus on that, not to forget that. That's what's going to be a heart-led leadership this week. Okay, so that's for Aries. Now we are going to Taurus. Taurus is the next 3 cards, just a little bit extra to add to what was happening and what I talked about yesterday. So Taurus is all about the higher power. That's your first card. Regeneration is to allow things to become reborn. So it's a rebirth for you, Taurus, this week. It's to be reminded that it's kind of like a reunion with your higher power, just in case you forgot about it, or her, it, him, her, whatever, they. And that message in a bottle is in the protection position. So it does warn you whenever I get message in a bottle in protection, I turn off the news because I'm like, I'm probably going to get confused ideas about things. So anyway, if you want to stay nicely grounded this week and in a sense of feeling like you're getting a chance of a rebirth, stay off the media and stay close to the people you love. All right, now let's look at that, especially your close contact with your higher power, conscious contact to a higher power. I'm going to take Gemini, 3 cards for Gemini this week. Gemini is to be fair in protection, so you are witnessing a serendipity in protection. And yin in protection. So when the to be fair is in the protection position, it reminds us that we actually witness things that are unfair, that happen to either ourselves or other people. And there needs to be a sense of grace and compassion around that for Gemini this week. Serendipity and protection is reminding you that you haven't been forgotten by the universe, and even though what you see may appear to be that this is, life is challenging, etc. Remember that serendipity is yours, synchronicities and things like that remind you that spirit is working on your behalf in spite of what we may see in our outer world. Then we have yin and protection, which is the consciousness of deliberate non-action, but yet coming from a very receptive place when we speak to other people. So, try not to get too caught up in drama this week. That's for Gemini. Okay, now let's take a look at Cancer. Poker shuffle. Cancerians, do not catastrophize this week. That's your number one card. Not necessarily a good week to take risks, and it also reminds you not to give up. So this may be a emotionally difficult week for you, Cancers. So remember the right use of imagination. And I just taught that whole 7 days of the Vision Board Challenge, which really is the right use of imagination. And Cancerians have a tendency to either go to the past, be nostalgic, or they're the worry warts of the zodiac. So this is about releasing and surrendering to your higher power, and know when it's okay to take a risk and when it's not. And this is a kind of a week that I would stay close to home. Go the distance reminds us that this isn't a sprint. It's kind of a little bit like the card that we had, the crossing card from the Celtic Cross this week. It was Between Worlds. So same thing here. Don't expect everything to change overnight for Cancerians. And just remember, manage your expectations and manage your imagination. Now let's look at Leo. Leo's 3 cards are, just from the top, co-create, beautiful, here and now, and the Y in protection. So I'm going to start with the last card, actually, because when Y in protection, it's asking us to really check your motives in a way that's super important. Your why, if you don't know your why, you could get caught up in something that you're uncomfortable with. But it's not really what predicting that for you. It's just reminding you to be very clear about your why this week. Co-create here and now is great. It means that you have a lot of creative energy aspected this week for you. You do have the full moon in your sign this week, and it is very much illuminating your motives this week. That's for Leo. Now let's check out Virgo. Here we go. Virgo. Community, good. So Virgo is staying, never ending story. Okay, the Observer. So this is a very interesting 3 cards for Virgo, because first card is community, but the second card is never ending story. So you are going to want to detach from any of the communities that you might be part of that get into drama. So never ending story is when we go on and on and on about the litany of problems. And then Observer is like step back. So really for Virgos, in any community that you belong to, don't jump into the fray. Stay back, be observant, and make your highest choices from the position of neutrality rather than opinion. So be discerning this week and stay out of judgment. That's what that is. Now, Virgos. Then we have Libra. Libra. Tell me, Libra, what is the magic for Libra? Ooh, this is really good. Imagine in the upright. Oh, this is funny. These are the same cards as Cancers. Okay, only they're all upright. So Imagine is about the right use of imagination, in that you have everything that is possible for you this week, and that you can take a risk on the things that you are planning long term. Okay, so this is a really beautiful week for creativity, taking a risk towards that creativity, taking the step towards creativity, and then going the distance on the project, knowing that it's the marathon, not the sprint. What's funny for me is that I'm a Cancer and I'm a Libra rising. So as a Cancer, I got all these cards upside down, and then as a Libra rising, they're all right side up. I'm gonna have to take a little bit of time to figure out what that all means. But anyhow, so now let's move along and talk to our beautiful Scorpio friends. Yeah, that's interesting. I find them to be very accurate when you look at all 3, rather than like the horoscope version when you just look at your sun sign. But I find that when you read the 9 cards, or whenever I do the 3 different readings, that they make a much more accurate, very personal reading for you. Okay, so here we go, Scorpios. My Scorpio friends are uncovering revelations, not chasing after anything anymore, and really doubling up on their spirituality. So the Truth Be Told card in the protection position represents and that was also in the Celtic Cross spread as well too, which is about a revelation of something that was inaccurate or wrong or a lie, and it is now coming to light as the real truth. So for Scorpios that like that as well, they're very deep and complex, etc. This is going to be a really good week for you to uncover anything that feels to you out of alignment with you, your beliefs, and also your really true sense of your values and ethics. Not for you is don't chase anything that's not yours, and that you'll understand to step back this week as well and to double up your connection to spirit. That's going to be really important for the Scorpios, mystical beings that you are this week. And you love transformation, so this is a week you're going to enjoy. Now Sagittarius, let's see, Let's go to Sag, is not for you in protection. Truth be told, in protection, here we got the same cards almost, but not. Then we have Treasure Island. So interesting that for Sagittarius, not for you in protection is a complete, like for you, it's like, you know what, I'm not going to, if I find that something is delayed, fine, I'm going to walk away from it. Something is revealed because something better is coming. So that's actually the story for you this week. Treasure Island is where you land. So Treasure Island is the abundance and prosperity and opportunities that come from joy and bliss and abundance and all those intangible things that may or may not come to you in a tangible way, but you're going to be feeling good as a result of all of this. Stopping what you are doing, recognizing what the truth is, and then realizing, wow, great treasure is there for me. Capricorns. Capricornskis. I love Capricorns. Actually, I like everybody. Okay, chop wood in the protection position and flexible and orphaned in protection. So there's a bunch of mixed messages for Capricorns this week. So chop wood, that also came up about not being an armchair astronaut. I believe that was the first card that we used for the Celtic Cross this week. So don't be an armchair astronaut, Capricorns. This is not the time for you to sit down and just dream and come up with ideas. You got to take one step towards the gods, and they'll take 10 towards you. But you have to be flexible. So the things that you want to claim as your own, or the results that you want, you need to be flexible as to the form that they're going to show up in. And orphan in protection is please don't allow yourself to get too isolated this week. Pick up the phone. Okay? All right. Now let's go to Aquarius, where we have all these fabulous planets, which is why we feel differently this year. That Uranus, or Uranus, the planet of surprise, lightning bolts, and all kinds of revelations, is active very much. And as Uranus rules Aquarius, we have lots of Aquarius going on right now. But it's all good. Aquarius. Again, imagine in the upright position, higher power is next. And Treasure Island. So you're in your element. You have your opposite sign in the full moon this week as well. But you are actually in really good shape as long as you stick close to visualizing and being in a mindset of abundance isn't about anything tangible. It's not about money. The currencies that we're talking about these days, which I introduced to you last week at the challenge, is something very different. The value of the new currency is creativity, it's collaboration, it's compassion, it's connection, etc. So here we have you recognizing this. And so therefore you're excited because you have a lot of new things coming in and you've adjusted yourself. So you're not, you're actually doing, this week is going to be very good for you. Now let's look at Pisces. No week is ever bad for anybody, but sometimes we have more challenges, say, for example, to the weather than somebody else, right? So that's why astrology is like that. It gives us a weather report, and then we're either going to be in the rain, hate the rain, put on a raincoat, stay inside, go outdoors, dance in it, whatever. Everybody's different. So how you respond to these circumstances are going to be unique to you. Now we're going to look at Pisces. Pisces. Okay, so all the glitters yang and to the sea is in the protection position. So what that means, remember the word protection. Upside down doesn't mean negative. It means you get an extra nudge from the universe, an extra nudge from spirit, from God, whatever you call your higher power. It reminds you that if it looks too good to be true, it is. Okay, so don't get caught up in somebody else's, sales pitch, if you will. When I say sales pitch, it's like they're trying to tell you what you know isn't right, that they have a better way, whatever. Just be really discerning for yourself, Pisces, this week, and really get that you can stop and smell the roses and your boat will not capsize. So remember that when all the glitters comes up in the protection position, it tells you that trust your instinct on something. If it doesn't feel right, it's not right for you, and that's okay. Walking away is a good story, and also to the sea in protection reminds us, even if, Pisces, you're having a challenging week, you will not capsize. Trust that spirit is at the wheel, or your higher power is at the wheel. Okay, and just to be reminding you, yay, today we just opened the doors to my Oracle Circle membership, where you will meet the coolest people around the planet from, I don't know how many, 36, 50, I don't even know how many countries there are, like lots, all over the world. Really great people. We're there for the same reason. We all love each other. We're very open. We're very safe. It's a loving community, and lots of woo goes on in there. We do work with the moon cycles. We have astrology. We have numerology. We have oracle cards. We have me doing mediumship. We have readings. We have meditations. We have a lot of fabulous stuff that you get. You get to have that. So check it out. Just click the link below, and I will hopefully see you in there with everybody. Mwah. Love you. If you like this video, you want to subscribe to my channel, and you want to share this with your friends. Subscribe to the channel by pressing subscribe. Leave a comment. We love reading your comments. See ya. Take care.